someone like Kamo Fiend or Shady K or someone of that kind of nature who has that experience and who has that knowledge and who's around people who are tournament winners and people who are good at the game, who can dissect it, and just people who are like that, who can, help out and truly be good testers and people who can, guide a game throughout development to be not so, relying on mechanics or, so many confusing things or trying to dumb things down and doing it the wrong way. Like, if we had people from the start to help them out through that, not telling them what to do, but just guiding them and being red flags, letting them know what's going on. I think that could really, really help the scene. And not only that, like, it would help unite the entire, all the states, because we have now a centralized team of individuals that we all came together and decided upon. And so that could be like a start of a bridge of trying, formulate, some kind of connections. Right now, I feel like there is no real connected scene. It's kind of like the Verizon maps when they're showing coverage. It just spotches on the map, and that's what the scene is. And that's kind of screwed up. And I think like one issue that we have right now is we keep blaming, tournament organizers sometimes. And yeah, some of them are out to make money, some of them are not, some of them are doing whatever it is. But we keep putting so much not so much pressure on them. We keep giving them so much power, and then we complain about it. Yet
we are
complaining about it.
Gaming scene, really.
Yeah, but I mean, my thing is like my problem is we keep relying on them to take steps that maybe we ourselves can take, like the one that I was mentioning before. We don't have to have tournament organizers come up and try to make a consensus for us. We can do that. We don't need. The problem is we keep complaining about tournament organizers not doing this, not doing that, not doing this, not doing that, or screwing up in this regard. But the fact is, like we said before, like if we don't show up, that's the end of that tournament. You know what I mean? So like instead of trying to, complain about things after the fact, how about we try to come together and try to, extend some branches together and come, ahead of time and come with some ways to do things, that we can all come with a consensus wise, even in a small little communities. That way we're not wasting time or wasting resources or regretting things that we made mistakes on. That way we can, people who have ideas that really could help the community can come out ahead of time, talk to them, get something going, and have everybody, branch out and start something new, try to get it larger and larger. I mean, the Fall Classic is the perfect example of that. And I think that maybe the West Coast should have a Fall Classic type thing on their side in some way, in Midwest the same way, and we just somehow just keep on trying to expand and bring it closer because we're just disconnected and we're not going anywhere because we have a lot of people in the scene, now, but they have no guidance.
No, the scene is stagnant. Point blank. The scene is right now. I look at the scene from when I came back 3 years ago to now, and there's no hype, dude.
Nope.
There's no hype at all. I mean,
I disagree. I'm very hyped for KI.
You might be hyped for KI, but I'm talking in the scene hype. I mean, when I came back to the scene and I put a $500 bounty on PL, I'm pulling cantaloupes out of my ass. I'm calling everybody out. I mean, I was doing everything in my power to spice the scene up. And of course the people in the MK scene, oh, you're taking it too far, but then they see a video and they go, oh my God, that's funny as shit. It's for entertainment purposes, and it's also to bring positive attention and positive competitiveness to the scene. Now, if PL, I mean, everybody thought I hated PL like with a passion. I don't hate anybody in the scene. Well, Ski Sonic, but that's a whole different story. But my point is, it's like I got under PL skin, and he knew there was a bounty out on him, and it brought to MLG an added sense of hype that was needed actually for MLG specifically because it was their first event or the second event. And it helped bring people down to the event because they were like, oh shit, this 40-year-old man just fucking made a video like he's the Don from New York, and he put out a fucking hit on this kid, who's a 22-year-old kid, and he's paying out cash outside of what the event is paying out. Now, of course, the payout for that compared to me was, minute. I actually, for VXG, tried to set up a match between Rio and Perfect Legend, and I was adding to the pot. I was putting out $1,000 originally.
I remember that.
You know, and
That was supposed to happen at Casino Royale, but
yes, and actually, thank God I didn't lay that money out because Casino Royale fell apart. But you know, my point is, it's like there's none of that there. You know, everybody calls me a cancer. Call me whatever you will. I don't care what you call me. I don't care who likes me and who don't like me in the scene. My point is, I'm at the point in my age where I would rather just bring this hype. And basically, it's kind of like, you know, I want to I want to put all the puzzle pieces out and just watch them fight each other. You know, I'm the manipulator. I'm the Metalblayd of the DC world. You know, I just want to watch everybody fucking going after each other, but in a positive way at the same time. I mean, I don't want to see guns getting pulled out at tournaments and I'm going to kill this mother, you know. You know.
Back in the 90s.
You know, I mean,
people kicking people's doors down in hotel rooms.
It's just not there. It's just
wait. What story was this? I want to hear this story.
With a cheap move, better pull out that gun.
What's that?
Wait, there's a story?
Which one? One of me?
Somebody kicked down a hotel door at a fighting game tournament. What was this?
No, I was using that as
we
a
shouldn't even
metaphor.
talk about that.
Yeah,
let's not talk about that.
I was using that as a
that.
metaphor.
Oh, it is?
We're
I've
not
never
gonna
heard of
That-
it.
It was a bad
That-
metaphor,
that's
and I apologize.
That subject we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, it
That's-
was a good metaphor until we learned that it might be based on reality.
Oh.
So it actually was based on reality.
Okay,
so
then it's a bad metaphor.
James, we got completely lost. What were we doing?
What was I doing? Well, what we were doing is we were talking about the scene as a whole, how to build it up, where it should go, where it's gonna go. You know,
Just dying.
it's just the hype is gone.
I have an idea. I'm just fighting game related. Just to throw in, I know I don't want to know about KI. What's everyone's thoughts on that new game coming out? Something like Fighter's Instinct or something. It's like you use Connect, and you know it's a bullshit trailer of showing a guy throwing his arms and crap, and I think follows you. But what's your guys' thoughts on that?
I haven't even
Never
seen
seen
that.
it.
I don't know what you do.
I don't know. So I never seen it.
Connect?
It's called like
Connect?
Fight.
What's
it's
a Connect?
It's on.
Connect? Okay.
It's on
I
Xbox
already
One.
quit.
It's some new like fighting
Is that like
game.
is
that
that like
they're coming
Tournament
out with.
Fighters on Xbox 360?
Well, there's
No,
the
not
reason I
Toro.
never heard about it.
It's called like Fighters Unchained or something. Some like French guy made it.
oh, they
All
have
right,
that.
so hold on. I do got to do something. Metalblayd, I'm gonna let you bounce. So I want to get you. I want to get your final thoughts on everything. What you would like to see in the scene before I let you go. And Christopher, I'm gonna let you go because I got other people I got to bring in too.
Okay.
So anybody you want to give shout outs to before you split out, let me know. Just Mike is yours.
Sanford, I got the most respect for you, honest to God. I have to say, honestly, new CDjr, I have respect for you too. Like, I had last week, you definitely said that like next time we try to do the tester thing, like we should filter out who doesn't. Maybe some people,
I agree.
have other kinds of experience, and he was like, even he had enough, to say that maybe they didn't choose the right kind the first time, and I respect that a lot. For saying that. Besides that, Salim Brown, obviously, mentor, teacher. He's the reason I'm in the scene in the first place. And honestly, the Philly crew, the New York crew, everybody up there. Like, I play around everybody up North New Jersey too. I'm from Maple Shade, so it's not really. I'm in the middle of everything, so but it's cool. But thanks for letting me be on the show, James. Thanks
Anytime,
everybody
man.
else. I just wanted to share that idea out there, get it out there, started because I feel like we need to get something rolling. I feel we need to try to kill a bunch of birds with one stone because it's just we got too many problems and we need to start getting it going. I think that way is a good way to get it started possibly.
I agree. It definitely needs to get hyped up. But with that, let me let you go because I got justice. I'm going to add in here.
Right.
And then also giving the floor back to Raj.
Yes.
All right, cool. Also, my bad, Louis Oldenbar, it's a cross strike. That's it.
All right, man. I will definitely. Any other time you want to get on, hit me up. I mean, like I said, I just got so much going on here at once, and I'm trying to take control here a little bit. I'm a control fiend.
We got to get things moving along.
Exactly.
I understand. But remember, don't forget my note I told you about NEC. I want to get a room for all of us trying to get together, all of us to hang out. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into that. Actually, I'm gonna hit that up this week. I definitely want to get an OBS room together and just get people that support the show to come chill out in the room. Fucking, hopefully by then I'll be able to drink again. Yeah.
James, real quick. I remember seeing a question on Ask FM saying you were thinking about getting a League of Legends team together.
Yes, I am actually I'm currently going to look to pick up, I guess, 7 to 10 players to put a League of Legends team together. I'm going to go through a vetting process, though.
Are they going to be FGC people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Play
I'd like to be one of those players. Like I remember you discussing. I think it was like last week or the week before about like League of Legends and the and the stuff with it. And I was like, I would have had so much to say about that because I think I've put within the last year, like that game's got me hooked. I put so much time into that game, so I was able to I would have been able to share like a lot about it. And
Well, do this. Hit me up during the week. All right, because I want to start. I mean, I got about 40 people already that said they want to play for the team. It's going to be a vetting process, but unfortunately, being that I'm such a League of Legends pro, I think I just downloaded the patch. The last time I turned it on was when it came out. So I'm not in a position to dictate who's top tier, bottom tier guys, but I want to have some kind. Yeah, you could say league is ass, carrot face, but let me tell you something. There's money there, and it's money. And it's money for you guys.
There's a lot.
The fact that they had their grand champions at the Staples Center.
Exactly.
Says a lot.
And we're at fucking the Metro Motel having fucking FGC tournaments.
Fighting for a Wi-Fi connection. Shit. On their third year, Staples Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first, Chris, let me let you go. I'm gonna add Justice in. What's that? You play what?
I played Dota 2.
I'm doing a Dota 2 team too.
I just got into that, and I think I really like the game though.
I don't like it.
I am so glad that I do not play MOBAs. I'm so glad.
It's like, yeah, MOBAs are fun, but they can also be like stressful to play too.
MOBAs do bad things to people. They honestly do.
Yeah, and a lot of MOBA players are very toxic.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde moments in League.
Justice, you there?
Yeah.
What's up, sir? Yeah.
Not too much. How about you?
Down on the mic a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
There we go. I had it too close to my mouth.
What's up there, Mr. Canadian?
Not too much. Just sitting here watching some OBS.
Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes. Well, I'm always in the stream watching, watching the show, and kind of missed you at T13 there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it up there next time around. I just, a lot of shit going on with me. But how's Mr. Shidinky Dink, my bestest friend? He hates my guts. I love it. I love the fact that he hates me. I actually get a Wtih. I pop a boner about fucking 9.5. And I love every minute that he goes around telling people, you should ban James, he's a cancer to the MK community. Oh yeah, well let me tell you something, that game lasted a lot longer than fucking anybody thought it was gonna.
Yup. actually it's funny, I finally met him at EVO. I've only ever talked to him over Test Your Might, and I got to hang out with him for a couple of minutes at least, him and Goldfish.
Well, so what's your? Let me get a quick summary of who you are, so people in the stream that don't know you know who you are, and what background you come from.
Yes, I'm Canadian. My real name's Scott. Actually, I think James, you're the only person that's more OG in this community than I am, and that's only because you've actually worked on Mortal Kombat. I'm like a year younger than you are. I remember playing Pong on those little machines that. Remember, it was just a box with dials on them.
Yep, Odyssey. I had it.
Yep.
I played that once. That game was awesome.
Worked on. It actually worked off of 8C batteries.
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
My uncle had one of those and had it one of those big projection screens. So we were playing Pong, and it's like 6 feet fucking tall.
Pong on a projector. Damn.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now you coming from the MK scene, you've experienced the MLG thing and the blow up with MLG and the MK universe. You've watched the Mortal Kombat portion of the FGC. What's your perception of it? Has it been welcoming? Has it been, same typical, top players are over on this side of the room and you're in the back of the bus mentality?
Well, within the Mortal Kombat community, I found that people are very welcoming. Like I mentioned, I was at Evo. I got to meet and chat with Tom Brady, Pig of the Hut. I even met Mr. Boone. And for the most part, everybody was really nice and willing to sit down and have a couple of games with you and that sort of thing. I did find like inter games, we've all talked about it a lot, between like the NRS and the Capcom communities and things like that. Like I do have friends in the Capcom community and like the Tecmo community, for like Tekken and DOA and stuff like that. But for the most part, people that don't play a wide variety of games generally tend to stay with each other. And I personally think that's one of the biggest things that we have to overcome is like the bad side of game loyalty.
Well, I mean, there is a bad side as far as the loyalty to your game, and it's got pros and cons to it. I mean, I've seen, like I said, just with KI itself. I mean, I'm not calling Junior a dick rider on KI. It's a game he likes. I can't say it's his choice. I personally think the game's gonna fizzle. I think it's right in line with unfortunately Injustice. I don't mind loyalty to your game of your choice because that's what you prefer. But it's one thing to be loyal to your game. It's another to shit on the other games just because you don't like them. Like I am not a big fan of Marvel, but I like watching their matches. I like seeing. Yeah. But when I watch a match, maybe it's because I look at it from old man eyes. I look at the whole scene overall, or even a game like Smash, and I go, wow, look at the heart some of these people put into these games. The passion that they play with.
Smash, in my opinion, is the most respectable community in the fighting game community.
Oh my god, I hate Smash. I hate Smash. Not a fighting game.
And this is coming from a brony?
I
really?
Smash until I started streaming it, and
I loved Smash when I was 10. That's what my response.
I was like, I still love Smash.
Fuck up. I still love ponies when I'm 25.
I just remember stone cold double standard right there.
Hold on. Justice, go ahead.
Yeah, I just remember sitting in the audience at Evo watching the Brawl top 8, and just like everybody going nuts. Like even when that one guy, I forget the player's name now, but he was abusing that one Infinite in the game that's in there, and people were just still like they're just hype as fuck for it, screaming and everything. Like even with this broken tech that the player was playing, and people were just so.
I was watching I was watching old YouTube videos of Smash at Evo back in '08 with Brawl, right? And once I saw that they had items on, I was like, oh no, this is bad. Oh no. I was like, oh god.
I mean, those scenes in general, um, especially Smash, and it's slowly transitioning. But you know, you look at the FGC, and the average FGC player doesn't even consider that game part of the scene, and that goes in line with what I was saying to Lurker about the whole, you know, I'm breaking your balls about the Brony thing, but I'm serious that the Brony scene, you know, should be incorporated because you guys are gamers.
Yeah, but remember, fighting was magic. It was a 2D fighter.
I thought the game was actually, like I said, watching the video, I was like, wow, this is actually kind of a decent looking fighting game. I mean, I really can't picture myself, you know, with Fluttershy, and I even know the names now. Holy shit. You know, but...
Hey, no.
James is being co-opted.
That argument,
you know why? Because people that in the fighting game community made that game. Let me think. The Fluttershy was made in Strider Hiryu. She used like birds and bears and shit. And Applejack was what's his face? Bionic Arm guy. What the hell? The purple one was supposed to be like, I don't know, any fighting game character that, you know, like Dormammu things where has shit's floating in the air and follows you. They're all based on other fighting game things. When it comes to those games like Smash and like the Naruto style fighters, or it's just like, or the DBZ fighters, where it's just like a 50-year-long battlefield and the game doesn't know what it wants to do because it's got so many damn mechanics of flight and items and no health and yes health and blah blah blah. At least the game knew what it wanted to do. It was a 2D fighter that was a Skullgirls engine, like, done.
Yeah, Skullgirls engine, same size backgrounds. Every level has the same size. It's just a different wallpaper, you know. And that was, you know, it unfortunately, I guess it was what you're breathing like you're dying.
Hasbro cease and desist.
Hasbro, yeah, gave a cease and desist, and then I guess they reached out to the. Were you the one that was saying they reached out to the creator, and the creator's like, yeah, but you could take our animals out? Like, well, what's
the creator, Lauren Faust, she made such great series like Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and some other one. So she said, okay, well, if you can't use the characters, I'll create a whole new set of characters for you to use. And so I don't know what the status of that game is right now, but knowing the speed that it took the creators of the Finance Magic to put out couple of characters, that they're probably not doing anything with it, and it probably fizzled. Like I said, I don't know every single thing about it.
All right.
Or you can just play the alpha forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Play the alpha. We'll be fine with that.
So let me do this. Let me go because I got other people I got to move in here. Metalblayd, I'm gonna let you get what you think is the solution to this problem out there. Anybody that wants to respond, but then I'm gonna cut you loose and bring in the next batch of folks that I'm trying to keep order to here because I actually got a line of people wanting to chime in.
I see. Well, this. Well, I feel what would be good for the scene is just to what everyone else has been saying, just to try and unify, you know, and try to get all the separate scenes together and whatnot. And what I've noticed is that, like, there are the different like regions and like East Coast, West Coast type things. But there's also like this scene is also divided by the games that they play. You know, there's the anime fighter groups. There's the Marvel and Street Fighter players. There's the
Tekken.
There's the Tekken guys. There's the NetherRealm Studios guys, the Mortal Kombat guys, the Injustice guys. If we could, I feel that the scene will do a lot better if we could find a way to unify them all together. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but if we could find a way to do that, then I think that the scene would
It'll be forced to. We got to put our own spotlight on ourselves. We're waiting for somebody else to put a spotlight on us. That's the problem.
Yeah.
True.
You know, I mean, we could talk about, oh, we need to hype this up, we need to do this, we need to do that, but reality is, when push comes to shove, you know, there's only a handful of people out there that actually do that. I mean, I look at F-Champ as one of those that does that. He brings that. I mean,
like a lot of people are like, oh, a lot of people think that like, oh, the MLG stuff and the esports funding is going to just come to us. That's not really the case. You have to actually do something that's going to grab their attention and want to give us that funding.
Exactly.
The only way you're going to grab the esports money is if the esports people feel that there's something in it for them.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately what it comes down to. It's business.
Yeah, business is business.
It starts and ends with money, and that's just the way it is.
The problem is when money brings out the worst in people.
That we've seen in the MK community. You know, we've seen the money chasing, money grabbing, greedy people all of a sudden calling out. Now, it's one thing if I turn around and I go, yo, Sanford, man, your bitch ass better come to NEC because I'm going to fuck you up in Street Fighter and build the hype that way. But first of all, if I find out Sanford, like, never won came in 90th out of a fucking 80-man tournament, well, I'm just basically trying to leech him in and say, well, if you don't show up, you don't support the scene. But meanwhile, I'm a top player, so it's easy for me to call out people.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time, you're calling out your community. Look at what happened with our
using that bait and switch tactic.
With Pig of the Hype, you know, with MLG. Calling out everybody saying, oh, man, Dallas, we're going to fucking rock the world. And I said, no, nobody, half of what Columbus is going to show up. And I planted the seed the opposite way that he planted it. He was planting it to get the turnout, and I saw that as an opportunity, and I'll tell this right now publicly. I knew I would put a fire under some people's asses, if not 5 to 10 people, maybe 20 people that are going to show up there. When I put a thread on JamessMK saying the MK community is ass, they ain't going to show up for shit, they're garbage. If you are so good that you think you deserve this money, prove me wrong. Now, the turnout was decent. I believe it beat Anaheim's turnout, which was right after Columbus. But I don't think it put enough of a fire to get it under people's asses to show up to the tournaments. But it wasn't enough to really impress MLG. Or MLG wouldn't have ended and just like literally, they were supposed to do the, what is it, they did the 6-man, the top 8. They flew them into New York and had the prize fights, they called it. They didn't even do it.
Yeah.
They just cut it right there. They were like, no prize fights. You know, and everybody was all like, whoa, what do you mean? I got 8th. I didn't get all that money that these guys are getting, but ain't I getting my free trip to New York? And now we're not doing that no more. And right there just set the precedence and the tone for what was going to happen to the scene. At that point, I was like, yo, guys, they're going to drop it after fucking Raleigh. After Raleigh, it's done. And lo and behold, after Raleigh, it was no more. You know, so, I mean, it's really important for this scene to really start uniting. And I'm not talking, you know, and I know, like, you want that, you know, because I know Sanford was saying 3 weeks ago about, you know, the East Coast, West Coast, you know, that rivalry that used to be there. It's just kind of like fizzling and, you know, it is, but at the same time, if it's going to fizzle, it's up to the community to reignite that fire. You know, and at the same time that you're reigniting that fire, like I said, you know, people need to realize 3 things that are important. You need a job. You need to stay focused on, I don't hate the West Coast, but I want to rip the West Coast guys' heads off. That mentality. You know, you want that competitiveness that used to be there. It's not there now. Now, when the event's over and we're all outside and kumbaya, let's go out and fucking drink and be merry and hang out. You know, I'll hang out with West Coast, East Coast, I don't care. But when it's time to compete, these people need to get that fire in their heart again. They don't have it.
Yeah.
You know, and then on top of that, the third thing is the scene needs to take control of itself. You know, if you want to grow, you got to make it grow. You know, Chase Manhattan Bank is not going to come down to one of our events and be like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Let me just drop $16 million into this. No, they're not gonna. They don't even know this shit exists. So that's the other thing is, you need to bring positive, and you know what, my show may come off at times as negative. It's because it's, actually, I guess I should put a jackass disclaimer, don't try this at home type shit, but the point is, it's a combination of entertainment and reality checks.
James, in that respect, though, don't you fear, I heard at those Call of Duty tournaments when the people who are playing yelling at the audience yeah, you're here. I remember there was one that was a guy yeah, you're here to watch me, you're not here to watch the game. And then he got a lot of feedback for it. Don't you fear that happening if the people get all hyped up at a fighting game tournament?
It already happens to a degree. I watched Justin Wong turn around to a bunch of guys after up in the Toro actually, Justice, the one we met at, where Justin got knocked out by what's his name, the Indian Canadian, Winter Wars.
Oh, Winter Wars, yeah.
Winter Wars knocked him out, and then a bunch of guys told him hold that. In MK9, and Justin was like, all right, all 9 of you motherfuckers come play me over here in Street Fighter.
Yep.
And they all had to hold that. They were like, I don't know if Justin won Street Fighter. I think Justin actually did win Street Fighter 4 that time.
I think he did.
But even with that, there is that level of condescension that's in this community that's always going to be in this community.
Well, you're going to have to deal with that because that's just human nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is human nature.
And it's also part of the competitive spirit, too.
To a degree, it is. I mean, it gets...
There's a fine line, though, that people have to realize that there's a fine line where, competitiveness and hyper-competitiveness becomes narcissism, and that's what you don't want to end up as.
Yeah.
But that's just the human mentality, though. You can't...
I agree with that.
That eventually just happens.
Yeah.
Anything in life.
All right, before I get off track, Metalblayd. Hold on. Metalblayd, I am going to let you run because I got to add one more guy in here, and I'm trying to keep this thing down to a controllable level so not everybody's talking over each other. I get too many people, I get lost. I am going to, anybody you want to give some shout outs to or whatnot, and, like I said, any other time you hit me up, I didn't expect a line of people wanting to get on.
All right. Well,
your show is the most premier show right now.
Yeah.
You really opened Pandora's box, didn't you, James? Go ahead, Metalblayd.
All right. Well, I had a great time on the show. I would like to come on next week if I were to have the time.
Yeah.
Which I most likely will.
Just hit me up. Like I said, right. I'm always open to having everybody on.
All right. But with shout outs though, I want to give a shout out to all of you guys here in the OBS Skype call, and James, thank you for having me on the show. I would like to give a shout out to everyone over at my hometown Vegas, the scene here, Hitbox guys providing the keeping the scene alive with their with the casuals that they hold up, and I also want to give a shout out to this new gaming spot called Press Start Gaming Center, which is where the Vegas FGC is right now, testing out the stuff. It's a new gamer spot where they have different like consoles. They're having the next gen consoles at launch, which would be really cool, and they'll have like LAN setters with PCs and whatnot, and that's where like. And it looks really cool.
So it's not like insert coins.
No. No. I haven't actually been at insert coins though, so I wouldn't know. But I have. But I see the reason I'm hyping this place up because I see the potential like that place has.
It could be like a VSM, or how the SoCal guys, the EGP guys got their little chill out place. Everybody has. Why does it sound like somebody's roping one out?
But
the fuck was that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Metalblayd. I just got distracted by that noise.
I heard that too. But
I still hear it.
Sanford.
Hello?
Is that you tapping the mic?
Nah,
Oh, you're not roping one out, are you?
I'm good. I'm
My
just
voice
listening.
is just that sexy. What can I say?
At least mute your mic. At least mute your mic.
I'm moving my foot up and down
Oh, it's
on
you
the
then.
floor, but shit, this is a really sensitive mic.
What are you clopping?
Oh, that's you.
I think he's rubbing
No.
the rug out.
No, I'm actually in the middle of playing Poker Night 2, and it's quite a
All right,
hand.
so you know what? With that said, since I'm letting him roll, I'm going to let you roll because you're playing the game, and I got like 3 people I got to get in.
All right, let me get one shout out before I go.
Go right ahead, man.
All right, I've actually scored a new gig at this website called Nerd for Sure. It's a just gaming website. I have a what do you call it? Article series, Dark Confidant. My debut article is up, and I asked for feedback from viewers, and I've gotten no feedback, so I don't know what to write about. So,
you know what? I actually looked at the article. It's a good article.
It's not really an article. It's just like, what do you want me to write about? Because the guy didn't really tell me. He's going to be giving me Xbox and PS codes to review for games, and he just said, think of something. I'm like, okay, well, what do you guys want to see? So, and nobody, I guess it's not really a high volume site, but anybody on the stream wants to
throw the link up there in the stream.
Yeah, post the link in the chat.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So good idea, James. So, other than that, great night. Shout out to all the stream. Stay OBS.
Bronies forever. OBS Brony team.
I like the Nantuko Shaman pick, by the way.
Oh, Nantuko Shade? Yeah,
Nantuko
I tried to.
Shade, I'm sorry.
I try to add that's my head. I try to add to it.
Last time I played with that card, I think I was like 9 years old.
Oh, that's a nice card. That's a nice card.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Last card I played with was a Cal Ripken baseball card.
It's magic shit. Don't worry about it.
It's magical.
Hearthstone. James, did you clip it to the rear wheel of your bike?
Yes, I did actually. With the fucking with a clothespin, a wooden fucking clothespin.
Oh yeah, that's real old school right there.
So anyway, Lurker, I'm gonna let you go. Blade, I'm gonna let you go because I got a couple more people that want to get in here, and oh my God, he's here.
Crying Brian.
Yeah, he just got home.
Who's that?
Oh, well, you'll meet him in a minute, but let me add.
Get crying to make a Brody song.
I can't wait to meet Brian.
Let me let you two drop off.
All right, I'll drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop off too.
Okay, Bifu, I'll let you go too, man.
I got tons of videos to throw up.
It was nice meeting you, Bifu, by the way.
No problem.
It was nice meeting all of you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Bifu. Nice to meet you, Sanford. Nice to meet you, all you guys. James.
You hit me up, man. You can come back on next week.
You take care, dude.
Alright, and James, I'm gonna hit you up about that League of Legends team.
Yes, definitely, because I want to put a team together that puts that Marn shit to shame.
Yeah.
Metalblayd. You're welcome on the show at any time. All you gotta do is just message James.
Alright. Well, yeah. Good luck on that new team to the new Team Marn.
Yeah, well, no, don't even put me in that light of Team Marn, but I want to surpass him without fucking my players.
James takes offense to that statement.
Real talk, if I could see Marn cry losing a game of League of Legends, that would just be like...
Wait, Marn actually has a distaste for me. If you've seen our tweets back and forth a couple of times, giving me that, I don't know you, why are you talking to me? I don't go on low budget shows. And me to produce a successful League of Legends team when his ass couldn't, it's just gonna fucking rub salt in that wound and go, you don't have to know me because I'm gonna put teams together that blow anything you ever thought of doing away, and I don't need Riot or anybody else to help me. So, needless to say, let me introduce Daniel. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So what's going on, sir?
Well, it's November, and so a lot of, I noticed this a lot when I was in college, that, people would do, No Shave November or whatever, and a lot of people wouldn't know what it was actually for. So I'm actually doing a No Shave November month that it's for the original cause, which is for prostate cancer. And I'm doing a giveaway along with it. I'm gonna post a video in the stream chat. I don't know if that worked because my entire chat just went blank. That was weird. But
It does that for me too. Don't worry about it.
yeah. But
post it in the here. Yeah. Post it in this chat. And I could cut and paste it over.
All right. So you know there in that video there's a link to the Prostate Cancer Foundation website where you can donate. And I'm doing a giveaway of a gigabyte of music because y'all know I'm a DJ. You know, some music that I've liked from over the years to somebody who donates and sends me like a picture that show like a screenshot or whatever that shows that they donated. You know, really, I just want that. You know, I want as much that can be done against prostate cancer to be done. You know what I'm saying? And like Prostate Cancer Foundation, I know that they in the last like couple of years, I think they've released like 30 different drugs that help you know, extend the life of people with it and whatnot. So you know, it's a good cause, I think. And yeah, that's what I got to say on that.
That's good shit.
Yeah,
That's really good shit. Yeah.
That's some good shit, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and if y'all could share the video around and whatnot, you know, try to get as many people in there donating and whatnot. I would really appreciate it.
You know what? Do me a favor. Cause see, here's the difference between Twitch Bitch Snitch and this show. I am legally allowed to play whatever music I want.
Oh really? Oh, it's not even music. It's just
I'm just saying.
video
No. Put me something together. When are you starting? When are you doing it?
The No Shave November, it's all month. I already started. What it is, I just shaved my face at the beginning of the month, and I'm growing out a beard and mustache and whatnot. So I'm gonna have an itchy ass face for the next month. You know, and it's, you know, because I mean, mustache and beard is a manly thing, and prostate cancer is a man's problem. You know, because apparently like 1 in 3 men get prostate cancer.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, you know, as much that can be done against it, you know, it might help me in the future. I don't know if it doesn't, but it helps somebody else. You know, it's good enough.
That's all that matters.
That's what makes it all worth it.
You know, and that's once again, you know, where's the vent hubs? You know, where's all these places doing the positive stories about this scene? Now, you know, I said this a couple of weeks ago. You know, when it came to the Twitch thing and all that crap. You know, I spoke with this guy Chin Dog, who is an SRK guy, and you know, and even though you know he was part of that, you know, James is the homophobic, racist, and all this other bullshit. You know, literally, like at that same time, I wound up, you know, his cat wound up getting sick, and I think it was Sweet Johnny Cage, if I remember, that actually was doing the donation drive. You know, I donated to it not because of, you know. I was able to put the anger, which don't get me wrong, there was anger, the anger aside, and say, look, you know what? I love fucking animals.
You're not mad at the cat.
I'm not the
You're
cat.
mad at
Yeah,
him.
the cat didn't do nothing. I mean, if he's saying the cat's sitting there suffering with teeth problems and everything, I'm gonna go give some money to the cat. I mean, it wasn't much, but it was what I could do at the time. But you know, my point is, it's like there's so many, like what the guys up at Kick Punch Block did last weekend, what Phil995 does every year, his 24-hour stream. You know, there's so much positive stuff that needs to be brought out there more.
What did Kick Punch Block do?
They did a Marvel tournament, 25-hour stream. They raised almost about $1,200. And it was for the Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
That's awesome.
You know, you got Phil995 every year. He does the Fight for a Cause, which it's usually like every year he changes up the charities, but it's usually 3 charities that the money gets distributed to. And all of us will go down there. We'll stay up 24 hours straight playing games, whatever you want. Play, you know, you pay, you know, you get somebody like Sanford down there. You say, all right, Sanford, I'll donate $50 for a first to 20. and Street Fighter, and it's just a good time. His wife cooks food and whatnot.
Sounds pretty dope.
It really is, and there's a lot of this, this condescension in this. You know what it is? The fighting game community, and Sanford, you could attest to this. There's always been a negative light towards the arcade scene. Well, unfortunately, the League of Legends and the Warcrafts and the Starcrafts and the Dotas, they didn't get thrown into this mix. We're like an extension of the arcade scene, so we're automatically labeled the black sheep.
Yep.
And
it's 100% true.
And all these other scenes, oh, well, look at what these guys are doing. And look at what these guys are doing. They're like, oh, well, look at the FGC. That JamessMK guy, he said homosexual and fucking Hot Pocket Surprise on his stream.
In all honesty, I'm pretty sure that
Hot Pocket.
the old arcade, scene, reputation back in the day, it's very similar to what the old Counter-Strike scene was when it was first released.
Oh man, Counter-Strike's rough.
It probably is. I mean, look, there ain't no mistaking. Like when I was going to the arcades, you could buy a dime bag of weed, you could score an 8-ball of coke while you're playing Street Fighter. You could buy. I mean, you go into Playland. Before you walked into the door, there was a motherfucker that worked at Playland that sold fake IDs. You could buy fake IDs. It was a booth set up right in the arcade. You could buy them. Oh yeah, hey, I need to look like. Well, of course, back then the drinking age was only 18. But the point is that the scene did produce a degenerate lifestyle, I guess, if you will. Unfortunately, as the gaming scene grew and the arcade scene decided to go away due to the systems that were coming out that were actually, in comparison to the arcades, equal.
Shout outs to consoles for ruining everything.
Consoles basically did ruin the scene.
Yeah.
But we are the ones that have absorbed all that negativity, in the media's eyes, well, what media does cover anything that's FGC related. So we got to shed that skin. Now look, I tell everybody the same thing that meets me in person. I go, look, I do what I do because it's fun. I'm not telling you guys, I'm not Eminem. I'm not telling you to go fucking shoot up people or nothing stupid like that or go beat up a gay dude. I'm just telling you, look, man, do your thing. Whatever floats your boat and tickles your pickle, man, have yourself fucking fun. But if you guys want this scene to grow, you need to take serious steps about being treated serious. And at the same time that you're looking to be serious, I'm also sitting here. I'm almost playing devil's advocate on you because I'm like, you guys need to be more serious. But then I got to go. But you got to get a day job. That's actually part of it. When people are saying, "Well, no, I just want to play games for a living," and then I say, "But that's called Fantasyland." If you really think you can just play games for a living and sustain a life till you're 65, you're out of your mind.
Have fun on that EBT for the rest of your life.
I think it's possible. I think we're just we're too far away from it right now, and B, I don't think the scene is willing to do what it takes to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think saying you still do this because it's fun to you. The vast majority of people that play video games don't know about like the fun that is fighting games. Because I mean, fighting games is what a couple million people that play. And in competitive, it's a couple thousand, but people who play video games, it's got to be in the hundreds of millions, man. I mean, like, you look at sales for games like Mario, it's got like 700 million sales. You look at like Pokemon, it's got like 500 million. There's no way that there's not enough people that fighting games couldn't be something a lot bigger. But I think it would take a lot that the scene isn't willing to do right now to get to that to get to where it would need to be.
We gotta quote unquote clean out our closet. Get all our, it's like when guys, I've told everybody on this stream over my lifetime. I mean, I never did heroin, I never did meth, and I never smoked crack. But I've done drugs. Drugs are bad. I can tell you from experience. I'm not running for politics, so fuck it. I've fucking did a lot of fucked up things in my day. And me telling you that is not because it's bragging. I mean, I got locked up in jail. All right? I mean, fucking, it's not a boast. It's reality. And what the reality is I'm not cool because I did. I was a schmuck for getting caught and doing what I was doing. Because let me tell you something. As much as everybody wants to say it, I was minding my own business, and those cops just grabbed me and locked me up for 3 years. No, you did something. Because you know what? If you never did nothing, then you wouldn't even have been in their scope. I mean, they might pick you out, but they're not going to pick you out that much. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't speak for Brooklyn, but Brooklyn does not. Brooklyn is one of them that didn't treat me well, and I could say, any black man in Brooklyn, I could side with them on it, because I'm like, yo, they just grabbed me and stomped me, man. I mean, that was pretty much what it came down to.
Yo, not for nothing. Most of the time, fuck cops in Brooklyn.
Fuck the NYPD in general.
For real, fuck cops in Brooklyn. Give me a fucking summons just because I'm in a park minding my own goddamn business. Fuck you. And then follow me for fucking 3 blocks after? Kiss my fucking ass.
That's one thing I like about Long Island over the boroughs. They don't come unless you call them.
I hang out on the island more than I do in the boroughs, man.
Adderall for tournaments. Oh, God.
Are you playing right now, Sanford? What are you playing right now?
Just listening and typing.
Oh.
It's Wolf Cool's birthday today, so I'm just writing him something.
Oh, I thought you were like I thought you were, using the joystick or something. I don't know.
Oh no. I'm actually listening to you guys. I wanted to speak about a few things when you guys were done.
Go ahead.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
Now back onto the FGC situation. The FGC needs a push in terms of the hype in it. The issue with the people in the FGC is the youth, which is the younger crowd. They're hungry for the win, but they're not doing what it takes to be up there. They're more allowing the top players to remain there rather than do something about it because of their laziness.
That's true.
This all comes down to laziness at the end of the day. Some people just have other priorities in life where they can't be as productive as they'd like to be, but in reality, more people have opportunities to be productive rather than not be. Because if you're staying home playing all day, then you can use that same time to gather up in a session offline and gain the experience that you need to play in a tournament. People are lazy. That's basically the basis of things. People are lazy, and like I said, streams are a huge contribution to the laziness. No, streams didn't force people to be lazy, but it gave them the reason to be. It's almost like YouTube. Back in the day, there were VHS tapes that you had to watch in order for you to get the tournament feel, because you had to be there. Or you had to wait for it to be on tape, which was months after the tournament happened. And again, back in the day, there were only 5 major tournaments a year. Now there's over 20.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between then and now. Now you don't have to work as hard to be on. Well, you have to work hard to be on top regardless, but you don't have to work hard to gain information. If you don't have information, if you're not at least decent nowadays, you just fucking suck.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta walk to the table, at least basic fundamentals. You should be able to look. Reality is, if you really want to be competitive, you should be able to at least perform humanly. Humanly is the only way I can describe it. In every game that's at that event. You really have to be able to. I mean, there shouldn't be anybody that can't say, "Oh, I never touched Tekken in my life," or "I don't know nothing about Virtual Fight," or "I ain't never picked up Blaze Blue, but I know how to do a fucking a Dragon Punch and a fucking Fireball. Therefore, I can guarantee you, and I know how to block."
Do something.
Yeah, you should be at least decent with all the information that is accessible nowadays. There's too much information. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's all types of shit, man.
I mean,
And for you to
even
not
back
to
in,
be at,
well, not to cut you up, but even back in our day, when the internet was just intertwining, we had game facts. It's been around forever. You could download an FAQ, and just pick up a game.
Yep. But it's even more now than it was. It's even more now, and people need to learn how to utilize that information. There's frame that out here. There's all types of shit. All you have to do is just put in the time to get good, and that's it. But then again, a lot of people are very stubborn in America as well. A lot of people have pride, myself included. I've been making the same character for years now, and the pride issue has stopped a lot of players from being the best, or not the best, from competing with the best. But in my experience, I still go to these majors and compete. These players have the potential to be top players, but they don't compete where it matters. Like, goes back to what I was saying. It's the laziness. People are lazy. That's why shit is not hype anymore. People are more allowing things to be the way they are and remain the way they are rather than changing it. And at the end of the day, it's the people's confidence is why they don't try to change it. They're not confident in themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Too many people. I mean, look, you get a player, I don't know if you know Sonic Fox from the MK community. This kid was 15, 14 when he started, making top 8, winning, Summer Jam, or actually, I wouldn't even say top 8. I think he's top 3 in every event he went. I watched this kid go in when Tekken Tag was on display at one of Big E's events. He went in, he was playing on the Sega Genesis. He was playing, what the hell was that game? I always talk about it. Eternal Champions. The kid's 14, and he's blowing people up that are, closer to my age in a game that came out in, 1992.
Before he was even born.
Exactly. And to see a kid like that with just that ability, that should be an inspiration, or at least put some angst in your heart to say, dude, that kid's 10 years younger than me. I can't let that happen. But rather than that, they're like, oh no, it's just Sonic Fox. He's just really good. And that fire is not there.
So pretty much what Sanford, what you're trying to say, just to sort of sum it up all nicely, is that you want a more proactive scene with more proactive people in it, rather than a reactive scene with reactive people.
Yes, absolutely. That's what's killing the scene. The people are killing the scene, not the tournament organizers. The people are.
Yeah, I mean, I would love. I mean, I know you were saying you want more events, but I
don't agree with that.
I mean, I feel more of them is hurting it because now people are picking and choosing, a la carte what events they're going to. Because let's be real, there's some broke ass motherfuckers, and it's like if you have
like myself,
if you got 25 majors in a year, how many can you really attend? Unless you got help from a sponsorship or a team or something like that, a lot of these people are, on their own, and they're going to go, well, let's see. I live in New York, so I'll go to all the Big E's events, and I do this, I'll be honest. I don't travel to the West Coast, and it's not because I don't.
Big E events because it's convenient, right?
I can drive to it in 2.5 hours.
It's close.
Yeah, I can get there, VXG I went to because it was a new experience. I've gone to Evo, so I guess that's not West Coast, but it's close enough. I've gone up to Canada's Toryukin a couple of times. So I mean, it's definitely sustainable to a level where you got to say, look, I can go to 3 of Big E's events, I can go to Toryukin, and maybe 1 West Coast for the year. And that's it. I gotta cut it off there. But I literally, I gotta say, okay, well, I can't go to CEO and I can't go to fucking SoCal, because I just can't afford it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's one of the biggest problems that we're kind of plagued with is the turnouts to some of the events are not sustainable because they're overlapping each other.
There's too many.
Too many. But now it's like, but at the same time, it's like, even if there was more events, it's not going to help this scene. It's saturating it. basically. Where there would be 1,000 MK players, now there's only 500, you know, because the other 500 are going to go to other events that are more closer to them. And granted that for the most part, most of these, you know, I'll say Big E runs great events. You know,
absolutely.
You know, I have not. I've heard about Jeb Bailey's. I can't say nothing because I ain't been there. But everybody that I said has always talked positive about it. So
I enjoyed it the last 2 CEOs.
CEO was awesome.
You know, so I mean, I can't knock that. Unfortunately, the only one that I've ever heard like a gripe that I actually legitimately was kind of like, yeah, that kind of is fucked up. Was UGFT this year. Because people were upset with a lot of the way a lot of things went, and the response from the tournament organizer was lackluster at best. You know.
So James, what you were describing with the whole saturation, pretty much what you're describing is all of these, you know, majors, poppings, majors, regionals, whatever the fuck you want to call them. It's, you know, it's pretty much diluting the potential player base.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to dilute it because
there's only a finite amount of players that can go to any given event, and when you have a whole bunch of them in a whole bunch of locations, you know, real life comes into play, and people have to pick and choose.
Listen. Let me tell you something, right? I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. Bottom line, the top players that are up there that are going to all these events, they are sponsored players.
Yeah,
that's number one. All right, there are a lot of players that would like to go to a lot of events.
Hold on one second, Brian, you're feeding back like crazy there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will have to fix this somehow.
But Sanford, you also have to acknowledge that, you know, the top players, they are the distinct minority.
I know that.
You know, you have to approach this from, you know, your Joe Schmo, your schmuck that just goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's who you have to focus on.
No, I wasn't done with the statement. And you're absolutely right. I wasn't done with the statement. The thing is the Joe Schmoes, they go to the tournaments, but they're not sponsored players. That is why they are not attending all of these tournaments. That is why a person like Smug the Beast doesn't go to these tournaments, because he's not really sponsored. You know, he's a great player, you know, but he doesn't go to the tournaments because he's not sponsored. EG guys, you know, PR Raw, Justin, they're sponsored players. They get to fly around. They get to go to all these majors that are like 20 a year. They get to do all that. They get to stay on top because a lot of the people that could potentially take them off the top cannot attend the tournaments. And that's what it is. And that's what's killing the scene. The scene is fucked up because the top players, although most of them are cool, they're not really helping the scene.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can agree.
They're not. They're not getting involved in any money matches unless there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
They're not in it. It's like they're not in it for the love of the game. They're in it for only the money.
The money. That's exactly right.
Yep.
100% right.
And that's what makes it whack.
Absolutely agree.
That's why it's stagnant for the most part.
I also think a large part of the problem is kind of balance. Like we've been talking a lot about how many majors there are in a year, and also too like the reality of to get more players out that aren't top players. So you kind of need regional majors for these for people that can't go across the country to say an Evo or something. So you need a major kind of in your backyard. But like how to take it up from there.
Well, see, here's the problem is like, for example, like, you know, I mean, I love listening to people argue what's a regional, what's a major, what's this, what's that. It's like, you know, it's you look at it and you say, if I'm going to do an event here in, let's say, New York City, and now what's the difference between me being a regional and me being a major? Very simple. This fucking money.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, money is what's going to separate me from. So now, you know, if I'm trying to do a regional to quote unquote try to encourage people to come out more, of course, they're looking for money. But it's a double-edged sword because with the addition of money brings more people from the West Coast, you know, more people from Canada down here or south. And what I was setting up to be a regional has now become a major. Now, it becomes a major pain in my ass because I was looking at it originally to set up, you know, a quote-unquote a tournament that was going to try to encourage people in the tri-state area to step up their game and get out more. But now, because it's turned into a major, that all gets scrapped. Now, of course, at the same time, what also happens is I go, oh, fuck. You know, for the money that I was putting out, I'm making a lot more money now by putting more money in. So fuck it, let the major ride. So you're not going to see that. Like, you know, when I first came into this scene, you know, some of smaller events like Texas Showdown, you know, these were like little regionals as they were calling them. You know, they didn't carry as many people. They didn't carry as much money. So it didn't carry as many people to those events. You know, besides the ones that are local or somewhat local, and a couple of them that would swing out that way. But there really needs to be some kind of, you know, there needs to be people that step up and say, you know, I want to do a regional, and I'm actually content with a regional. You know, and that's going to encourage more people. Because if everybody wants to do everybody wants to do a major, everybody wants to make $1 million. And again, I
think a lot of people would be dissuaded if they actually found out what it takes to run a major.
It takes a lot to run a major.
I actually helped out Russell running Toryukin too. I was running brackets for Mortal Kombat and stuff, and just doing that small section of it. Oh my god, what a weekend that was!
I'm sorry. Did you help run Toryukin this year?
Yeah, this past year. Yeah.
Oh, so okay. I won that tournament, by the way. So you were there then. You see me.
Yep. I was the old fat guy in the Mortal Kombat shirt. Yeah. We probably met and talked, but it was so busy that weekend and so many people. It's hard to keep track.
That's interesting because that's the only major that I won with Sagat this year. That's fun.
Really?
I remember that now. Yes, I remember people talking about the Sagat.
The only tournament I won this year. Yeah.
Didn't you win a Canada tournament earlier this year with Sagat? Or you made top 3 and Dominion won, right?
No, I won that tournament. That was Toryukin.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think Dominion. I think Dominion was supposed to come but didn't or something.
No, he went to that tournament. He got third.
Oh, okay. So it shows you how much I know.
Now I remember. EMP took like top 3 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, EMP has a tendency to do that.
Yeah.
As much as everybody wants to bash Triforce puts together a pretty damn good team of players.
Yeah.
He knows talent.
You know,
he does.
And he breeds it. He helps breed it too. It's not just picking up. It's not like he just picks up. He can look at, you know, as much as people bash him, and he said this on the show. You know, I think it was, who was it that was saying, well, you don't even play the game? Oh, Rico Suave, I think it was. Was it Rico?
No, it was it was Emperor Outworld, dude, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Outworld. I can't remember who it was.
100% sure it was Rico.
I think it was Rico, right? Yeah.
It was 100%.
Yeah, you don't play the game, so how do you know? Well, you know, I know how to do a fireball. I know how to do a Dragon Punch. I know the basics of fighting games. You know, therefore, I could talk about any game. You know, and he's been. I mean, you know, if you look at EMP's track record, you know, you could say Triforce is a scumbag and this and that and he fucking shyster and all the bullshit everybody loves to say. But at the end of the day, has there been anybody in EMP that hasn't produced at least some top 5s consistently? You know, every player that's been there has been placing.
The record speaks for itself.
And I just want to reiterate. I just want to say something about that too. Not to say that the top players that are on top are there because of EMP, but people forget that everybody that's on top was in EMP at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yipes was in EMP way before. Justin was in the EMP orphanage.
Chris G.
Chris G was in there. Remix was in there.
Fire Legend.
Ricky, Flo, PR Rog, Perfect Legend.
They were all EMP at one time.
Everybody went through the EMP orphanage. Everybody.
No.
Orphanage.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasn't Junior EMP at one point?
He still is.
Yeah, he
Yes,
still is.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
K-Brad still EMP, or did he leave?
Yes, he's EMP.
Yeah, he's
Was
EMP.
was Crazy Dominican EMP?
No.
I don't know about
No,
that.
he's got.
There we go.
He's got. No, well, not everybody. We're not saying everybody that's winning is EMP. I'm just saying. Everybody that's been in EMP has.
That's what y'all said. Everybody who was consistently top 8 was EMP at one point.
No, everybody. I said everybody that was EMP has been. Other way around.
Rio's EMP. Tom Brady's EMP. Not too sure. Everybody. KDZ's EMP.
Yep.
Yeah, all of these people.
EMP Daigo. Diego Suarez, EMP.
And people can say what they want, but EMP sticks together, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's something that which is kind of funny because you don't see that, and it's funny because Triforce really put this whole team thing together. Before anybody else did a team thing, he was doing it. He was the originator of the teams for the fighting game community.
Yeah. I don't want to say this. It's kind of it's kind of fucked up, but I'm a realist. But a lot of people are going around saying that EG stands for Empire Goons.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I got a friend that likes to say that a lot.
I'm gonna start saying that now.
But
that's actually cool. Yeah.
Empire Goons, Justin Wong.
Diego Suarez.
I don't know if there's truth to that, but I can honestly say from my experiences, everybody in EG, they're all cool dudes. From my experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, they may hold the information to themselves to stay on top, or it may not. But at the end of the day, if you know them personally, they're all pretty cool dudes.
Listen, if I was playing against you in a fucking World Series and I had a guy that threw a fucking knuckleball that was amazing, I'm not going to come up to you before the game and be like, hey, you don't know how to hit a knuckleball? Let me teach you how before the game.
Hell no, right?
You're going to have to learn that shit on your own. I put in the work. What I got is my little, and it goes back to the days when guys used to break my balls in the arcades during MK1 and 2. Yo, man, can I have Reptile's fatality? I swear to God, I won't tell nobody. I'll be like, what's the fatality? I don't know about that. What's that? Come on, I know you worked on the game, man. You know all the fatalities. Like, nah, man, I don't know nothing. And people would get mad at me. And I'd be like, well, I'll go home on the internet and find it. I said, go ahead. Why are you asking me, motherfucker? Go on the internet and
weird
find it.
Because a fatality isn't even going to help them win.
Exactly. That was the best part. I'm like, you need more than a fatality. You need to win the rounds.
You actually need to beat them before you can do the fatality.
And guys, secret tech applied in tournament while streamed can also create hype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of secret tech, I got some secret tech for y'all.
All right, what's up? Well, wait. Sanford, this is Crying Brian. You might know him from the Corn video.
Mm-hmm.
This was the
Speaking of which, as of like an hour ago, it is the 1 year anniversary of that getting uploaded.
Really?
Indeed.
Really?
Damn.
He started from the bottom and now he's here.
So I'm still at the bottom?
What are you talking about, man? You're at the top of your game right now.
Okay.
You got a singing career?
Does anybody here play Jackie Chan Fists of Fire?
I've heard of it, but no.
Well,
I've heard of it, too. A main ROM of it? Heard of it. Some shit.
Okay, well,
I've
you
seen
see, I was looking up some info on the game, just about all the resources I could, and it seemed like nobody had any idea how to select the evil versions of the characters. Like, it seemed like people knew that it was possible, but they had no idea how. I was looking at like some old forum posts on Shoryuken where SRK Funk Doc was telling people that the game was godlike and people were finding out that it was actually legit. But I have found out how to select the evil versions of the characters, and
oh god,
while I have no idea what it's like in other parts of the world, I think I'm like the first person to know how to do it that like speaks English. Because I did recently look at tournament footage of the game from like a month ago from one of them arcades in Japan that is super fighting game centric, and people show up for tournaments for games no one would even bat an eye about over here. Or they're like, they've mastered every facet of Hokuto no Ken, even though everyone knows that game is complete garbage, but they love it. And I saw somebody was picking the evil characters, and they were laughing about it, because I don't know if they knew how to do it either. I'm like, there is a way. So, I totally did some experimenting with the save states, just so I could go back to the character select screen at every moment, and going through the main ROM. All I did was, like, I just tried every combination every time on the character select screen. And what I've determined is, on the character select screen, you highlight the character of your choice, and then simultaneously hit up or down, plus light punch or light kick, plus start. And you will get the evil version of the character. I don't know why it took people so long, maybe because they were trying to hold buttons or what, but you just tap them all at the same time. It's on an emulator, you can just map them all to the same button to work. So just map a spare key on the side or a spare button on the side that's just, hey, all these 3 buttons are the same, go. And what it does is, the only change I could find was that it changes their color, it changes their name at the start of a match, and it gives every character 1 extra juggle point. So it's not going to shift the tiers around, it's just going to make the good characters better and the bad characters better. So really it's going to up the damage potential of the combos. And there's no reason to not pick it. So, now you can surprise your friend. This is OBS exclusive technology. Now you can amaze all your bros when you play your Jackie Chans.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first, live.
I guess we're gonna have to get that game at Evo next year now, huh?
So there's already people that play it in rooms and shit. Like, and each evil character has their own name. So like Lao becomes Dark Lao. Sam becomes Black Sam. Jackie is Hyper Jackie. Kim Marie is Dirty Marie, which makes no sense to me. And and fucking
wow, that's one of the programmer's wives, and he's like, "Yeah, watch this bitch. Call you Dirty Marie in a video game. Hold that."
The name of the girl.
Hyper isn't a malignant. Isn't a malignant,
Hyper, what
adjective?
Did he just drink like 3 Red Bulls before or some shit?
And Thorsten becomes Demon Thorsten. And as far as I know, there's everyone also has a 4th color. They have their punch color, their kick color, and the evil color. What if you have evil mirror matches? You get a 4th color. And the Dark Lao 4th color is an Incredible Hulk color, and that makes me very happy.
Why does the Hulk make you happy?
Not because it's Hulk, but because it's a Hulk color.
I was gonna say something.
It's green and purple. Green and purple makes me happy. Piccolo.
Gotcha.
Piccolo.
Barney.
So Brian, what else have you been up to? Because you ain't been on this show in a while.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about Tekken and playing absolutely none of it.
Yeah, I've been doing the same.
And I've come to the conclusion in Tekken that less than any other mainstream fighting game out there, it matters, like, barely at all what character you pick. Since the only reason it's balanced is because everyone is the same. Like, really.
Yeah, I can honestly attest to that because everybody has the same health in Tekken.
Everyone also has the same principal moves, like, a 12 frame.
Everybody is going to have, hey man, this is your longest range poke. Turns out they're all about the same range. Hey man, this is your move that tracks sidesteps. Hey, this is your move that is a 10 frame Punisher. Here's your 12 frame Punisher. They do all about the same damage. Here's your fastest mid. Here's your best Punisher. Here's your best launcher. And the combo after launchers the damage after launchers is like within 5 or 6 points of damage with each other between characters. And when you get to the strategy of Tekken, like, the only reason the characters will matter is if you're not good. Because if you're good, you'll know all of the strings anyway. So you'll get hit by things that are like, oh, I just didn't know he could do 2 mids and then a low. And once you know that, you'll realize what a fucking terrible option it is, and they'll have no reason to ever do it again, making the characters matter even less. Like, everyone's got the same things. I mean, of course, they're proficient in like, hey, this guy's punishers are a little bit stronger. This guy has some stances, but the characters with stances seem to have the same stuff out of the... I don't know. I guess this just tells me how awful I am at Tekken. Maybe I should probably talk to somebody that's actually a Tekken pro, but I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but I am saying it matters way less than any other mainstream fighting game.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah?
How long have you been playing Tekken for?
I have been playing Tekken, or at least trying to get good-ish, for about a year and a half.
Oh, so you're... Okay. I'm going to tell you something about myself pertaining to Tekken, okay? Tekken was the first fighting game I ever took seriously. Before Street Fighter, before anything, it was Tekken. I am a Tekken player at heart. I personally know two of the best players in New York. Three of the best players in New York. And I've also trained with them and taught them as well, which is a lot of information that a lot of people don't know. Fab, Jim, and somewhere Fernando all learned from me.
Fernando.
I'm serious.
Fernando's in the chat right now. He was saying, "What the fuck is Brian talking about?"
And Fernando also taught Fernando. Listen. Fernando also taught me as well. You know, we basically grew up together playing Tekken. This is before I even entered the FGC. Tekken, to me, I know a lot of people may disagree with this, but Tekken Tag 2 to me is complete garbage.
Oh, I agree.
I'm gonna explain why I think it's garbage.
A lot of people want that Tekken 6 back.
I don't even think Tekken 6 was that good either.
I didn't like Tekken 6 at
The
all.
best Tekken to me was DR and Tag 1.
Tekken 3 is the best.
Tekken, DR, and Tag 1 were the best Tekkens. That's my opinion. But Tekken Tag 2 is so scrubby and noob friendly, it sickens me. That's why I don't play it. It to me, it's not Tekken. It's more like a party game, like Mario Party. Just like MVC 3 is the MVC 2, I think MVC 2 is Tatsunoko versus Capcom 2, and it's a party game. It's not a game that you put in a competitive scene and take it seriously. It's a party game because it's too much shit can happen wrong in a match.
Dark Resurrection seems like it has it is, from the Tekken that I've seen at high level and mid level, it's like the most Tekken of all the Tekken games. Just take out Steve's little hilarious bullshit of Infinite from the side hit, and you're A-okay.
No, that was taken out in DR.
Oh, it was? Oh, it was just that was vanilla. That was Vanilla 5.
Yes, 5.0 was the game that Steve had the side Infinite. They took that out in DR. DR was the best Tekken out of the 5 series, free. But I will say, 5.0 was the most fun Tekken out of the 5 series.
Yeah.
See, there's a difference. Tekken Tag 2 may be fun, but is it the best out of the series? I'd say 6 is slightly better. Even though I don't like 6 because I never liked the bounce system, I do think 6 is a better overall game than Tag 2.
Yeah, see, the bounce system is what turned me off of it, to be honest. That's where I started to say, you know, it was, I liked it. I don't want to, I mean, obviously 3D, but it has a one-dimensional gameplay, and this is what you got to do to win with any character. You know, it was simplistic in that way, yet it was complicated. Obviously, like Brian said, that, you know, certain hits were made specifically to knock out somebody trying to sidestep, and it'll still follow them. You know, and that's something that, you know, you're losing that. You're losing that in-game design now, where it's actually getting to the point where they're like, you know what, that's just too much for people, so we're going to add 16 buttons, but we're just going to make every character, like, stupidly easy to use.
Because, you know, that's fun.
Combos after Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2 combos kind of hurt my brain, because Tekken seems like it was meant to be played where it's mix-ups all the time, but once the combo starts, you just kind of get bored, whether you're doing it or getting hit by it. Which, that's the case for a lot of games with long combos. But Tekken, it doesn't seem to fit with me. I don't know. Makes sense to me with Marvel, or Marvel 2 and 3 to some extent, because With Marvel 2, you're thinking about resets. With Marvel 3, you're thinking about, man, I can't wait to do some kind of bullshit when I get out of this.
Oh, that was funny. That was actually really funny.
I wasn't trying to be funny. That is my honest thought.
Yeah, but that's the sad part about it. That's why it's
That's
so
what makes it
That's
funny.
good, yeah.
That's what makes it funny.
And I
'cause
sure
it's
can't.
so
I
true.
sure can't wait for my next character to come in, and then I do a Helm Breaker and win the match.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said though, what we were talking about earlier, Brian, is and you don't travel much to the
That's
scene,
right.
so. But you're still part of the FGC. I mean, obviously the Crying Brian video and all that. You did travel out to go there.
I'm talking with people. I'm doing my best to get better, giving some feedback for the few games that I do play, and that's really the best you can hope for with this stuff, really.
Now, let me ask you this, and I've asked it to everybody else. What about this scene do you not like, and what do you like?
This is a really fun question. I love how brutal everyone is to each other about the silliest shit that doesn't matter, and I hate that as well. It is my favorite and least favorite thing about it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, people are pretty brutal to each other in this scene, but at the same time, like you said, it done in a constructive, hype way is different than people just being malicious, malignant assholes to each other, which happens a lot.
Actually, I think that. No, I think my. Okay. I'm thinking about this a little more now. My favorite part about this scene is that the people that go to tournaments never seem, or I don't want to say never, but they don't seem to complain a whole lot about things. They're just like, well, that's the way the game is, and if I don't like it, I should probably play something else. Whereas if you look at, when I look at games like Halo, when I look at like Halo and Call of Duty tournaments, because I've got a friend that goes to that shit, man, even the pros, when they are losing, they are really, really, really whiny. I don't understand that.
Those guys are professional bitches. That's what I call them.
It's true. If you ever thought...
Okay, go ahead.
If you ever thought... Now, this is just from what I've seen. If you ever thought anybody bitches in any game, try making a pro at Call of Duty or, like, Team Fortress 2 lose. They will bitch and whine and moan like they are a third grader losing some cane.
That
I know all about that TF2
although that
rage.
is kind of exaggerating, I guess, but
Not really.
More
Not
than
really,
fighting.
dude.
It's not.
I mean,
It really is.
I see it more than in fighting games. It's not like super common, but I see whining a little more on a high level when it's first-person shooters.
Actually, what I see in fighting games is not so much whining at the event, but after everybody gets home, you see it on Twitter, you see it on Facebook, you see it on like SRK and Test
forums and shit.
Collusion.
Yeah, you don't
write a
see
thread when I
actual
get home.
Let me put my 2 cents into that statement about the whining. The thing about it is, if the people are whining, that means they care. I'd rather see passionate players rather than unpassionate players. I think the passion needs to come back to the community. There's not enough whiners in the community. I think there's more people like, oh, I'll split just in case if I lose. So I'm not gonna really be mad about losing. That's the kind of attitude that fucks the community up. The whining and the drive to want to always win is what we're lacking in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I haven't been able to grasp this pot splitting shit. Not for nothing. I guess, growing up, being homeless at a time, fucking broke ass motherfucker, I ain't sharing my cookies with none of you motherfuckers. That top prize is mine. Fuck you. If you get second, you take your $50, motherfucker, and get the fuck away. That's right, I got the $600. Now eat a dick and you're not getting none of my money. But these guys are like, well, let me play it safe, because if I win, I get the money, but if I don't, at least I'll get more than what they're saying I'm going to get, because we're going to split all the money.
Not only that, I think that people, now, they feel like they have to pot split or they get, demonized, if they
Otherwise,
don't.
you can't be a part of the cliques.
Yeah.
It's like a cop that rats out other cops and shit. You get cast out if you don't split. Fuck you. You
That
want me to
sounds
split?
fucking retarded.
Hey, James, remember what happened at the MK tournament? All that bullshit?
Yeah. You know, they ganged up on PL.
If you don't split with me, you're out of the clique. What are you, a fucking retard?
That's the mentality that they have, though.
Do you realize just how much you de-evolutionized humanity? Like,
you know what I call that?
You're cast out, man.
Go dog, go dog.
Split spot.
If you're gonna be like that, the only clique I'm gonna be in is the clique on my gat, and you'll be out, son.
I think the combination of what Brian just said and thinking about pot splitting, I think my IQ just went below 0. And then all my motor skills just went away.
Hey, Mikey, there's a medical term for that. It's called diva syndrome.
Oh, man.
You know, it's funny because I remember the late and great George Carlin saying in his thing once, it's bullshit that's the glue that binds us together as humanity, as a society. But the FGC, how much bullshit has to rise before we start getting sick of the smell of it?
I don't know, man. You know, I'll tell you this. For me personally, you know, I watched the bullshit coming back, and like I said, I'm not a top player. Do I want to be a top player? Yeah, of course. I ain't going to fucking sit here and lie and say how awesome it wouldn't be for me to come and fucking blow up Sanford out of the blue or even make top 8. You know, and be the top player in Street Fighter and be like, yo, now you got to hold that. You just lost to a guy older than your parents. You know, I mean, that's really what I want to say. That is my goal. Is to, I did it to the little 13-year-old girl that I blew up at MLG.
Hold that shit, bitch.
You know, and for those who haven't heard this story, I go to MLG Columbus. My first match is against this 13-year-old girl, and her dad's there, and you know I'm plugging my fucking pad in, and everything's got to be wired. You can't do wireless, so I plug it in, and I'm not getting no lights on it, and I'm going, something's wrong. And she just gave me that. She gave me that condescending attitude, like, oh, come on, old man, let's go already. Don't you know how to set up a controller? I was like, I'm thinking to myself because I didn't want to say it, so I'm like, yo, bitch, you're gonna get smacked in front of your dad. You keep it up. So she's like, well, so she grabs my controller and she goes, let me do it. And she's hitting. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with your fucking thing. I don't know. Well, she didn't say fucking. She said, I don't know what's wrong with your thing. Maybe your controller's broken. And I look over to the PS3, and the other end of the USB wasn't plugged in. I said, well, maybe this fucking helps. And I plugged it in. And I told the father. I looked at the father. I said, get ready to take your daughter to Losers. And then
I remember you told me this.
And then I turned around. The first round she picked Scorpion. The first match she picked Scorpion. And the first thing she did is she just threw out a naked spear. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to hurt you. And I proceeded to use Baraka. I double flawlessed her and I babied her. And the next match she picked Ermac and she did the the pushback, a naked one of those. And I'm like, oh, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, after you babied her, you should have been like, that's what I think of your daughter. Ooh.
No, I actually turned around to the father, and I gave the dismissive wave back, like, yeah, take your daughter over to the losers bracket.
Oh man, I wish that you would baby alleyed her. That would have been.
You should have been like, put that back in the carriage.
Should have been like, here's your lollipop from the beating you just took.
But
James, I already knew this.
James, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah,
James.
Oh my god.
I want to let you know that I already knew this story because that 13-year-old girl was me.
I believe it.
I'm coming for you now.
Oh man, I believe it.
Oh man.
James, that girl just probably got a real bad case of PTSD from that experience.
All I know is, I guarantee you, in like 10 years, I'm gonna be like 50
She's
years
either coming
old.
back or she's gone forever.
Yeah, I think she's gonna come back for me and shit. She's gonna be like 21. She's like, you want to know this now, bitch? I was like, no, I don't know how to play this game. My fingers don't work like they used to. But I mean, one thing I'll say is I'll give the girl mad respect. She was competing. She was there competing. That's what I like to see. As much as she was a pain in my ass, and I was like, really? You're putting the oldest guy in the fucking community against the youngest girl? You know, that's just. I was like, wow, you really respect me in this fucking tournament. You know, but that's stuff like that. As funny as it is, you wouldn't get away with that with like a Sonic Fox. You would. Sonic Fox is going to turn around. The 13-year-old kid going to blow you up, and now it's the other way around. Now he's turning around to you and be like, "Yeah, go to the losers bracket, old man."
And then you look like an ass.
Now you really got to retire.
Yeah, now you're like, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done, man. I fucking." But
and on top of that, you got to deal with an extra like 20 minutes of teabagging that Sonic Fox does in mid-match.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about the teabagging shit. But it's like, I don't know what it's gonna take to break the ice of this scene finally. I really think top players being more proactive with it's kind of like the French Revolution. It's like, when are the rich folk gonna meet with the poor folk in the middle and say, "Yo, we got to make this shit work, or it don't work for any of us."
Or else you get your heads chopped off.
I don't know how it is in other areas, but at least where I'm from, in our fighting game little scene going on here, people don't like to branch out and play games no one cares much about. We just kind of stick to the Marvels and the KOFs and the Street Fighters, not really try anything new, even if we know it's not really going to last or go to a tournament. We just don't seem to play stuff to play it.
People don't want to leave their comfort zone.
Like, say in Japan, because of weird laws and such, they can't actually have a tournament where you enter money and get a money prize. They got to do other stuff like sponsorships and all that to get prizes for tournaments. So generally, when people are entering tournaments, they are driving out to their local or even not so local arcade to play with people that love the game as much as they do, just to see who's best, not to get any kind of money prize. And when you take the money out of the situation, you can really play the games that you enjoy playing. Like, maybe you are like the one dude, the 8 dudes in Japan that are super godlike at Aquapaza. But you know what? You guys are going to be the best at Aquapaza. You're going to show us what you can do, and it's going to be great. There's not going to be money on the line, but you know what? There never is.
Well,
Japan's got some really funky gambling laws, though, so they really can't play for money.
Yeah.
The gambling laws don't make much sense.
It's also the I don't know, to a degree, kind of a regional thing. Like I mean, in North America, you're not getting anybody out of bed unless there's money involved. And like for me, trying to get people involved in my town and trying to get more people out up to Toronto for Russell's tournaments and stuff. A lot of times, a lot of the attitude I get is, I'm not spending money to play a video game.
It's a show me the money attitude.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even that. Like, it's not even so much. Like I've met some really good players that could very well be in the money, but it's just plain and simply like, why would I spend $25 in gas or $50 in gas? Tournament fees, venue fees, and stuff like that, just to go play a video game. And I could just sit at home and play with friends or play online or whatever.
Because these people are poor.
And that too.
I mean, now let me ask you this: if the scene had no money at stake, do you think it would live or die?
Die.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would shrink, but not die.
I think it would shrink enough to the point where it would die.
I don't think it's about the money, man. I just think most people are lazy.
Yeah, I think it would live like down here in San Antonio. I honestly can't think of, like, they sometimes do like Marvel Rambats or whatever, but otherwise we don't really play for money down here. And I mean, we got games going, like we had until a couple weeks ago, we had Mortal Kombat going still. We had Guilty Gear going. We had people play whatever. Some people still playing Justice, not really much, but
Listen, you want me to tell you how to hype this shit up, man? I'm gonna put some ideas into your heads, because James is already gonna know where I'm going with this, because we discussed this already.
Oh God.
The scene needs rivalries, man.
Oh yeah,
I agree with that.
Totally.
Wholeheartedly agree with that.
Putting bounties on top 5 players.
This fucking scene is whack because there is no rivalries. All of the top players are buddy splitting the money, traveling together, not hugging each other, whatever the case may be. They are not competitive within each other like they should be. They are only competitive to stay in the top spots that they are in. They are not competitive to prove who is better than who anymore. At all.
Like, Jesus, guys, even the last Naruto tournament I went to a year ago in New York had an East Coast versus Midwest rivalry going on. We had a crew battle and everything. Why can't people do that really much anymore?
Because the money corrupted the scene. The money, the streams, and the streams generated the money. It generated the content and the viewers. There are more scrubs than pros in the world. That's the reality of things. That's life. There are always going to be more scrubs than pros.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
That is why all of these games nowadays, games like Tekken that have combos that basically kill you in trainer mode that you can learn, they're all for the easy mode scrub players to learn, so they could have the dream and the idea that they could become top players, so they could generate more money. Capcom, Namco, these guys are smart. They make the games easy so these people can fucking play.
Sanford,
Yeah,
you just need to steal Dr. Doom's time machine and go back
You know
to
what?
2004.
Yeah. Putting combos in that, like Tekken, come to think of it, it's not going to make scrubs into top players, but it's going to make them think they can, which will keep
That's
them.
what I said.
Yeah. Sorry, just wanted to
Yeah.
I don't know if your message came across to other people, but
Before you guys continue on, Brian, are you in it for the long haul?
how long is the long haul?
I don't know when James cuts off.
I was figuring that was what the long haul meant, but
Oh, do you mean this
Another
podcast
4
or
hours.
these fighting games?
I am the official co-host, and I need to bail.
All right, you can bail, man. I got the shit. I got it under control, man.
I'm off for the next 2 days. I'm in here.
You laid the law down. You took care of shit today. You did a good job.
I was co-opted to be co-host.
You were a proactive co-host today, man.
I try. Anyway, about my whole thoughts on this scene and everything, you guys can just go watch the part 4 of the archive of the last episode if you really want to know, because I'm too tired to explain it. Or you can just have James read it off again from the first email I sent him. Who knows?
Let me
Who
see
cares?
what I got. Let me see what I got here.
Oh God, James, please don't bring it up again.
Yeah, I like to.
James, don't do this to me, please.
Yeah.
I say burn the scene to the ground and start new.
Burn it down and salt the earth, as Triforce would say.
Here we go.
God, are we going to be
like Sherman's March on Atlanta? Just burn everything down.
Dude, we can be like a league of villains from a Japanese RPG because we're trying to destroy the world so we can build it anew like a pure land.
Yo, hey, speaking of like animes and all that stuff, you might be an expert on this. You ever see this novel, or I guess it's a series called Green Eyes?
No.
Never heard of it.
It's about after the Civil War, the 5 Points, that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They got a. I just came across it like the other day because I heard they're trying to make it into a movie.
They made an anime about 5 Points?
It's actually after 5 Points, like right before they actually took it down.
Oh shit!
And it was when the Chinese started to move into America more. Right after the Civil War, so they wanted to clean it up. I mean, that's Civil War after the Revolution. Civil War, my bad. Right after the Civil War, when they were trying, actually the part of that movie, when they were trying to break it down right after the draft, when they all went nuts.
Yeah.
It takes place there, but now what it is there was an influx of Chinese that went, there was an influx of Eastern Europeans that came over, and basically the Irish were trying to hold on to what they had, so it's based around that. But I was just glancing at it today, and I was like, you know what, I want to check that one out. But besides that, let me go to Mr.
So it's a Gangs of New York.
It's like Gangs of New York, yeah.
It's a Gangs of New York, but not a Gangs.
What's it called? Green Eyes.
Green Eyes, yeah.
Green Eyes.
Here we go. Dear JamessMK, I just wanted to get this out of the way right from the get-go. I'm a big fan of OBS and your crusade to put the FGC babies in their place and trying to talk some sense into these reckless people. I come from a PC shooter background, Unreal Tournament, as Triforce is so fond of, and would love to be on the OBS show at some point to give a different perspective on things. But my school and in real life obligations tends to throw a wrench in things like that. I'll share a little bit of info about myself so you can get a feel from where I'm coming from. My current handle that I go by in games is Albino Jiginosis. You probably seen me in your Ustream chat as EMP Mescant. I recommend the pole position commercial during your conversation on game marketing. I am 23 years old. I've never touched tobacco, alcohol, cannabis, or any narcotics. I wish I could say the same thing, but thank God I did something right growing up, not me. I live 20-ish miles outside Rockford, Illinois. The Rockford Files, great show back in the day. Webster could probably vouch for how awful Rockford is. I am currently a student who's majoring in electrical engineering, a real major, not something worthless like music or history. I bombed out of community college on my own dime because I simply did not care about anything. I regretted every second of my life. It's a hell of a lot harder the second time around. I am an autistic introvert living in a redneck hell. Nobody plays fighting games out here. The closest scene to me, to my knowledge, is in South Chicago suburbs. It's a 160-plus mile hike round trip. I literally drive halfway across Illinois just to play video games. Each trip I take out there costs me $45 to $50 in gasoline, tolls, and my activities at said location. This is not nickels and dimes to a broke-ass mofo like myself. My internet options suck out here, which limits my ability and incentive to play fighting games online when I actually get the time to do so. People need to appreciate that FiOS they get. It could be a hell of a lot worse. I feel that social media is simultaneously the best and worst thing to happen to humanity since the discovery of nuclear fission. I have almost the entire periodic the entire periodic table of elements memorized up to fermium, but the rare earths give me problems. The FGC to me is like a car crash in slow motion. You know it's awful, you know the end result will be ugly, but you just can't help but look at the driver flying through the windshield into a brick wall. I've been observing the scene since around November 2010, and all I see is the same petty shit happening in a never-ending, self-fulfilling prophecy. You have people who think way too highly of themselves, claiming to be authorities of inner workings of games, which is a hilarious idea, trying to dictate what should and shouldn't be changed. You have extreme coalitions of dick riders, like SRK, for example, who pounce on anything. Who pounce on anything they can work with to try and damage the online reputations of people, which you've been a victim of. You have idiots subsidizing top players' living expenses under the guise of helping them go to tournaments and other crap they can get away with. F-Champ fleeced his nut huggers for a free trip to VXG and lost over $4,000 at casinos. I mean, seriously? From what I see, the FGC is a short bus gaming community, competing directly with Sonic the Hedgehog and Kingdom Hearts. Don't these idiots know that when SRK does a front page post on Tell SRK what you'd like to see changed in the US F4, that it's simply clickbait for easy ad revenue? Do people think that game developers give two shits about what 0.03% of their customers think about their games? Why do people take incoherent scribble on Twitter so seriously? Why does anyone care about what Sherry Jennings does in her spare time? If she's getting hot with top players, why should anyone care? This kind of crap that lets the people behind the scene rob people blind without them even knowing it. Heck, I feel that FGC isn't even worthy of esports money due to this. Real media press would only make things much worse for the FGC as a whole if they saw 5% of the crap that happens. Expanding on the idea of top players claiming to be authorities on video games, I guarantee you that 99% of the people who watch/listen to the fighting game streams have zero fucking clue on what it actually takes to make a game. Especially nowadays with everything being so advanced and game budgets inflating to an all-time record. I probably know a lot more about making games than most, but even then I really don't know much, since the extent of my gaming design experience was playing around the UDK for a few days. I apologize for going on a tangent, but the FGC continues to baffle me. I can see that we have a lot of the same criticisms and critiques of the FGC and generally share the same outlook on things. Maybe I could bring some good to the show or not, who knows. Albino, Jiginosis, aka EMP Metscan. And that is true. Without a doubt, this scene, they need to be like we've been saying. The top players need to get off their fucking high horses, and boycott fucking PS4.
PS4 all the way.
Limbo dog. Oh God, but it's so true, and like what Sanford was saying, the top players need to get more proactive and encouraging, and it sounds, I don't even know what I could use the word. It sounds gay. It really does when you think about the mentality that this community has to itself. But they should be more the top players need to pick up the lower players to sustain what they have.
They're fucking divas. That's all they are.
You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is, man? The top players, and this is going to come off very, very, very negative when you first hear it. But when you think about it, I feel that this is what it needs. The top, fuck that. I'm going to keep that shit real. If I was in a position that these guys are in, I would be talking a lot of shit. The reason why is because you need to spark a flame with these players. There's no drive for the younger generation to want to beat the people on top, because the people on top are just not saying anything.
No, because they scared, bruh. They scared of losing that top spot.
Man,
that's why they're about season.
Scared of losing that $100 a week.
The thing that makes a true champion to me is when you're the champion, you will do whatever it takes to make sure your competition stays below you. Not dodge the competition so you can stay in your position. Your position is always gonna be challenged. You're not gonna be the best forever. Nobody's the best forever. It's all temporary. This is a temporary position that you're in. When you're in this position, you want to stay there in terms of your skill, but in reality, you have to make the best of the situation that you're in. When you're a top player, find other avenues of income. Find other avenues to market yourself. Find other avenues of self-development. It's like all they're doing is staying on top because they're winning. That's it. That's not enough, because the reality is, PRR, Chris G, Justin, these guys are not going to win forever. Justin did the smart thing. He has a contract with EG. He's under contract. You understand?
They can't bench him. They can't get rid of him until it's over.
There's a difference. These other players, they have the drive, but the top players don't have the drive. So because the top players don't have the drive, the younger generation, they're not being educated to learn what a top player really is. They just want to be a top player, but they don't know what it takes to stay there because the top players aren't showing it.
I agree with that, actually.
No true champions.
There's no champions these days. They're just players.
No, I don't think it is when people.
My favorite, you know who my favorite player is in the FGC right now?
You.
No. It's not even me. Right. It's funny. It's not even me. You know who it is? It's Filipino Champ.
Yep.
I knew.
The reason why I respect Champ the most is because Champ doesn't bite his tongue and he talks shit.
A lot of people hate that motherfucker's guts. So
I think
Filipino. You know what Filipino Champ just did today? Filipino champ went into the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 room. There's a group on Facebook. He went into the group and said, "I feel like I can body 90% of the fucking players in here."
That's probably because it's
You
true.
probably can.
But that's not the point. The point is he did that.
No, yeah, we know. The point is that he had the balls to do it, and that's what
He really
that's what
did that, and he actually believes that he can. And he's welcoming people to try to prove him wrong. It's not like Chris G is like, all right, Kevin, Landon, I'll play you in the first of 10, and let's see who the best in the East Coast is. Sanford, I'll play you first of 10, let's see who the best in the East Coast is. Yipes, let's play first of 10, let's see who the best in the East Coast is. Flocker, let's play first of 10, let's see who the best is. It's just, all right, I'll see you in the tournament. 3 out of 5, all right, let's see who the best is. All right, tournament does prove who's good, but people want to see hype shit. You're going to get the hype shit in the tournament, but it's not the same as a long set because the long set proves who the better player is.
Yeah,
you know what we need more of?
You can't just like challenge someone to a set and say, let's see who the best is. It should be, yo dog, I'm the best. I'm going to show you why.
Yeah, there's no drive in the scene, man. The scene's whack. There's no drive.
You gotta believe in yourself.
You know what we need more of? Real talk. We need more of Fnatic versus Ray Type shit.
Exactly.
We need more cantaloupes. That's what you need.
More
You need more fucking cantaloupes. You need more people. Look, I'm willing to sit back and be like, you know what? I take OBS players and I'll be the fucking pallbearer with the cantaloupes and making my fucking players, and I'll be pulling out my fucking cantaloupe at a tournament saying, next week, motherfucker, this is going to be your fucking picture on this shit, and I'm going to be cutting that shit up.
I wanted to touch up on something as well, and this is about the hunger and the drive. A lot of people don't respect this player a lot either, but this guy is a prime example of what I'm talking about. He reminds me of Champ, but he may be a little more arrogant to some people, but Rico Suave just recently did something as well that a lot of people don't know about. Rico Suave went in to the Injustice chat, on Facebook and said, "Can somebody please give me a challenge? I'm bored."
I saw that.
Now, KDZ posted in there. CDjr posted in there. Some guy named Playing to Win posted in there. These players posted in there, getting all defensive, saying, "Oh, you're mad cocky, you're mad arrogant. Oh, you've won one major. Calm down." I like that. I like that because he did that for the attention because he wanted to put people on notice, saying that something, Injustice is fucking dead right now. Let me spark things up. Kind of like how Kendrick Lamar, he sparked up the game with that one verse.
Yeah.
Some things like that need to happen so people can get the fucking attention.
And Sanford, instead of them getting defensive in the Injustice chat, they should have just said, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna rape your shit the next time I see you in tournament."
That's what I expected you to say they were gonna do.
But they didn't do that though. They got defensive and started crying.
Yeah. Well,
and
unfortunately, the MK community, which is like what I call
niggas.
Unfortunately, the MK community, which I like to call the Tampax community, they between their kumbaya bullshit. That's why I hate. That's why I like these fan sites that like to portray themselves as media, like Test Your Might.
Can I go in, James?
In a second.
Can I go in?
In a second.
Can I go in?
In a second. These sites like Test Your Might that like promote this kumbaya mentality is what stagnates them. Well, if I tell fucking Trepound I'm going to spank his ass, I'm getting banned. What the fuck is that? Or the thread gets closed, and I'm getting scolded in private that you shouldn't talk that way to people. You should treat them like you want to be treated. No, I'm treating you like I want to spank the shit out of you.
That's how I want to be treated. I want.
No, James,
James,
it's like the Jerry Springer uncensored tapes. It's too hot for TV.
Yeah. Anyway, let me swing over to Trepound because I just got him in here. What's up, sir? Go in.
I'm saying, but like this whole NRS community, dog, like these niggas need to just learn how to just be cocky again. Just start talking shit because it's just stale right now. You be playing people. I be playing people down here in Atlanta, and I'm like, They're like, oh well, that was a good game. Yeah, that was a good try. I should try this time. I want niggas to be salty when I be getting hella salty.
Hold on. Let me just address one thing.
That's me being cocky.
Let me address one thing. Ferries, yeah, they did support. OBS was supported by Test at one time, but once they were told by the powers of B, sites like Event Scrubs. And Test were told that like James is toxic to the community. He actually is shaking things up. If you support him, you'll feel our repercussions, and then magically all of a sudden they don't support me. So,
James got sniped by that SRK Illuminati.
You know what? And it's funny because it is. At the end of the day, it's not about me, but you swiping at me is swiping at you guys. Here we are at 20 after 2 East Coast, and I got 130 people that are in this room, that here, at 2 o'clock in the morning, listening to me, quote unquote, rant, and having other people in here talk about what they actually want to happen to this scene. And rather than say, wow, you know what, we're getting a actual true fucking gauge to gauge what we should do with our community, but rather than look at it that way, oh, this loudmouth, white trash, fucking goofy bastard comes on this stream speaking homophobic and racist rants, and the sad thing is, with everything that they say, I don't know anybody's lifestyle, I don't know everybody's color in the fucking room, I don't give a fuck, and it's like, you really, that's how you want to spin this? In a community that, has enough dysfunction that you could have used this show, and I can guarantee you this. Either the grassroots scene is going to gravitate towards me, or esports is going to gravitate towards me, eventually. Because they're going to want me to be the mouthpiece against the other one. Yeah. And the point is, all these people that have stabbed me in the back, forever's a long time, motherfucker. I don't forget. I'll remember that.
Go ahead. You know what it is, James? To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the top players don't come in on this show because we talk about reality.
Yeah.
We keep it real. They're not even keeping it realistic.
They're living in that fantasy.
Lie, dog. They ain't living in illusions of grandeur. They think everything's sweet.
They just want to go with the flow, which is fine. They can go with the flow, but when reality kicks in and they start losing, they're gonna be like, something, I should have did this and I should have did that. At the end of the day, it's their decisions to be made. I just feel that they are in a position where they can make this scene a lot better for everyone, and they're not doing that because they are very, very selfish in terms of their success. They want to just keep collecting the money, keep everybody else down, which is fine. You can keep collecting the money and keeping everybody else down, but you're also not helping the community grow. We're trying to make it to the point where esports wants to take us in, where more money can be put into the scenes to make things better for the scene. They're not trying to make the scene better. They're just trying to make more money.
Also, Sanford, you also have to realize that once and if esports comes around, a lot of your freedoms are going to be taken away also. Exactly. And if these people don't know how to appease the corporations that are pumping in the money, then they're going to lose it very quickly.
That's why
Mortal Kombat at MLG was a very good example of that.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, and I'm not going to put the person on blast, but I asked a person that ran tournaments, what would it take for you to work with MLG? And that person told me $200,000 a year, and I'd run the event. I said, "Are you high?"
They'll just start their own shit and leave you in the fucking dust.
I'm like, so $200,000 a year, and you get to run the event the way you want. That's what you're looking for. I said, well, I wish I was the fly on a wall in that conversation.
Hey, James, you know what? If MLG really wanted to be a dick about it, they could just buy the trademarks to the name of the event and run it themselves if they hadn't done it themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's something a lot of people don't realize.
You know what, MLG? That idea is for free. Go do it.
Everything will be an
Hold
MLG
on.
event.
I just read this thread in that fucking Playing to Win posted on TYM. I don't know why I'm reading this trash ass shit.
God, no.
But he was like, "Oh, Forever King's the person to beat," and then Forever King is like, "Oh, I agree that nobody could beat me without Aquaman. I don't dare anybody money match me at NEC."
Playing to win makes my head
I
hurt.
will beat
Playing to Win is
the
another
brakes off of Forever King if I play that nigga, dog. That Batman shit. I'm sorry. I saw that. I was like, for real, nobody know how to get out of that. He's getting by with a lot of bullshit. I don't care. He's not bad. But I'm saying he's just getting by on people's fucking naivety on that character.
The extent to my knowledge with Playing to Win is when he almost bowled over like 3 big ass dudes trying to murder OMG It's Andre in some dude's house.
Man, Playing to Win need to shut the fuck up and need to hurry and not open his mouth so much.
He's pretty good at fighting games, but he's even better at rigging brackets.